They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. From the 27, Burrow flushed out right. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a first down carry for Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as good running gets him to about the 44. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. We'll check on his status when we get back. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Burrow's throw there taken in by Smith. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
On 3rd down, Samuel. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll try and run for it.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message. Hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. Now left side on the swing pass. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss. And it brings up a 3rd down. Burrow on play action. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be out right at the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. A CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Patrick Queen in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Burrow. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Jackson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of, but when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That's going to be caught by Samuel. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is, and if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes, because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson buying time to his left. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On the Jets sweep, here's Chase. He will push his way down to about the 14.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Burrow looking to pass. Open man is Samuel, complete. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
McPherson's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Here's 2nd and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Jackson. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Jackson. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 4th down. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Tight end's right. Go. We got 4.
Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
2nd and 10.
4 down, 4 down.
From the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Hey, I got number 80. I got number 80.
Throwing is Jackson. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Eluding the pressure right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Here's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Henry Ruggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
We got three.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
On 2nd and 12, Burrow. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And it's the best possible spot to begin a drive. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. Mason. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ben Mason. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, Charles, I think you and I both agree these guys were outplayed in that first half, and the scoreboard reflected that, but they've come out since halftime. They've looked like a different team.
And it makes you wonder what was said and done in that locker room because They've made some nice adjustments, and they're executing better. I think they got some fiery guys on that sideline that had a few things to say at the half, and now they've come out with a vengeance.
They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Burrow. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out.
And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Escaping the pressure right.
And he will find his man Ruggs.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
55. Check 55, Mike.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
Now Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay. Right where it is. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's got it. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, a lot.
Oh, and for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And they will take a knee here.